smart and stuff. They don't give up a whole lot of big plays. They got most of their defensive back that I thought was excellent last year. And, their defense coordinator does a great job. And obviously Kirby, has his hand on the defense and one of the best in the country. Offensively, their OC, Todd Monken, is a guy that's been successful in college. He's been successful in NFL. So it's a good, big task for us, but I will tell you this, our guys are extremely excited to be going there and playing Georgia. Questions?
First is Steve Moulton.
Hey, Coach. I was hoping you could speak to Georgia's secondary and what kind of challenges does that bring to your offense?
Yeah, like I've said, that they're very sound. They got good cover guys. They know their answers. They do a good job of mixing things up. And then when you put their front, which does a good job putting pressure on a quarterback, they kind of complement each other.
And now that JT Daniels is cleared to play, I'm wondering how hard is that to scout out and really with a new concept? I realize there is tape on him, but how hard is that to prep for?
Well, I mean, in a way, it's like another first game preparation. You just got to be prepared for, to be able to adjust. And, last week I thought our defense adjusted well in the second half. And so, if they end up playing him, it could be a little bit of, a period of time just to adjust on what their plan is.
Next is Jordan Hill.
Gus, Georgia did a really good job of stopping the run against Arkansas last week. What sort of stands out to you about how they play the run and the challenges that presents?
Yeah, of course, last year we played them late in the season. I don't think they'd given up a rushing touchdown the whole year. And, we had one on a quarterback run, and they got just about everybody back. So, you're looking at not just, one of the best rushing defenses, if not the best rushing defense in the country, but one of the best overall defenses. And, after last year, I felt like that they were the best defense we played all year after playing them. They got the majority of the guys back. They make you earn it, and that's the key. They make you earn it. They mix things up. They check when you check, and they're very sound unit.
Next is Gianna Hahn.
Hi, Gus. So they also had a really strong game on special teams against Arkansas. How are you preparing for that aspect of the game?
Well, they've got a lot of talent. I mean, when you watch them on special teams, they got real speed. That's really what stands out. They're very talented on special teams. And, that's got to come into play. And, anytime you're talking about speed on special teams, that usually is the difference maker. So we're going to have to do a great job with scheme, with technique, and everything that goes with that to try to win this special teams battle.
Next is Mark Murphy.
Gus, what was your assessment of your rebuilt secondary in game one, and how did Jalen Simpson play in his first start?
First of all, I thought Jalen Simpson did a good job, especially the first time back there. He played safety last year. And I think overall they did some very good stuff, and that's a group I think you'll see improve each game.
Is Jalen okay? It looked like he limped off a little bit.
Yeah, he did. We're hopeful that we'll have everybody. We're hopeful that we'll have everybody to go to Georgia.
Next is J.G. Tate.
Hey, guys, question about the run game. A lot of different ideas and concepts you guys use against Kentucky. What kinds of is he still kind of experimenting a little bit, or are you going to start winding down on some specific concepts you're going to try against Georgia?
That Chad's got the playbook. I mean, he can do a lot of different things in the run game, and so you'll see us each week. I really feel like we'll improve in the run game, but having a lot of different things that you can do, I think is really good. And I think that, the more that we can settle in on 5 linemen, like we talked about Sunday, that gelling up front will also help, as far as the run game goes.
Next is Brian Matthews.
Yes, Coach, I want to ask you about Bo Nix's pooch punts. So are they a real weapon for you, and how do you think he's executed those so far?
Yeah.
And, you probably got some other little plays off that too, I'd imagine.
Well, I mean, last week he executed extremely well, and I think we pinned him down on the one time, and I think on that series we almost got a safety. It was really close, and they punted out their end zone. The other one I think was inside the 10. So, Bo did a really good job executing that. And, we'll see what happens moving forward. Some games that's good, some games it's not. But last Saturday it was a huge weapon.
Next is Josh Vitale.
Gus, you mentioned the adjustments that the defense made against Kentucky. As a head coach, how big of a luxury is it to have a coordinator like Kevin, who that even if Kentucky is converting 8 of 10 third downs, he's going to make the adjustments the defense needs to figure it out?
Yeah, I think great. The great thing, this is his 5th year with us too. It's our players. They know the system. They know, after he makes changes, what to do and execute it. And so I think both of those factors combined is really good.
Next is David Pascal.
Hey, Gus, I know you talked about the secondary moments ago, but Georgia secondary, Georgia led the nation last year in fewest yards per reception, and I know they were effective against Auburn. I think Anthony had less than 7 yards a catch. What makes Georgia so good in that category, and how important is it for Auburn to improve that category in this year's meet?
Yeah, first of all, they got really good players, and then they're very well coached. So it's a combination of that. Like I said, they do a good job mixing things up, but they also do a good job of keeping things in front of them. It's tough to get explosive plays, and of course that'll be a key. As far as you asked the question, this one, you're going to have some explosive plays in the passing game to be able to score points, and so I think that's important.
Jeff Spiegel is next.
Yeah, I think road teams were 5-2 on Saturday. Can you talk about how the limited capacity has kind of taken away a little bit of the home field advantage and how that might work in your favor Saturday when you go between the hedges?
Yeah, it's a unique year. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And I think everybody's learning as they go, but I do expect it to be loud. I do expect it to be loud over there, and we'll have to be able to adjust to that. So, like I said, each week I think teams will learn. This will be our first road game. We were able to have a home game, and I thought our crowd did a really good job with our students, like I talked about after the game. So we expect it to be loud, and we'll just learn after this first road game.
Next, Matt Zenith. Matt? All right, we'll skip ahead to Justin Ferguson.
Sorry about that. Kate, can you hear me now?
Got you, Matt.
Perfect. Sorry about that. So 2 quick questions for you about Del McGee. First of all, what's the background on your guys' relationship, and also just the background on you giving him the opportunity you did back in 2013?
Yeah, as a coordinator here, of course, Dell was the head coach, when Georgia high school, and being an Auburn guy, and just kind of kept my eye on him, got to know him. And so when I got the job in 2013, I felt real strong that try to hire as many high school coaches that I was a high school coach that had the same opportunity that I was given. I wanted to do the same thing. So he was one of those guys that came on board with us in 2013, just did an excellent job. He's a really good person, and just felt like he would have a chance to be successful, at the college level. So, and obviously he's done that, in the 2 stops that he's been at.
And second question, seems like Dell's a guy that has aspirations of one day being head coach. Just what kind of upside do you see for him in the coaching world?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a very talented guy, like we talked about, and you see he's on the rise, and it doesn't surprise me.
Next, Justin Ferguson.
Hey guys, you guys had some injuries up front on the defensive line on Saturday, but still in the second half, you're able to slow them down pretty well in the run game and get after the quarterback a little bit better. How impressed were you with those guys, that rotating group up front, being able to make an impact, and how big are they going to be this week against a team like Georgia?
Yeah, I was impressed. We were concerned. I mean, they've got they had 4 returning starters, and they led the league in rushing last year. So we were concerned. So I was impressed with our guys. We played a lot of different guys, and of course, you look at Georgia's offensive line, and they're a good offensive line too. So No, that group up front defensively, I feel like will have a chance to improve each week also.
Next is Philip Marshall.
Guys, could you got a COVID update for your latest testing?
Yeah, our latest testing, we had no positives again. So that's a really good sign. Something we have to continue,
Can you just talk about your guys being able to do that? I mean, you had 20-something games postponed around the country, and once the season started, you've had no positive tests at all.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice that our guys have made. And it's kind of one of those deals. You test 3 times a week. You kind of hold your breath each time, not just for players, but staff too. So, and just got to be, ready to all the what ifs. What if this? What if that? And that's just the nature of where we're at this year. So if our guys continue to do a super job like they have, then that's going to be a positive.
Next is Nathan King.
Hey, Gus, you kind of alluded to it earlier with the success Bo had against Georgia last year. What did you see out of him with his legs in that first game, and how important do you think that'll be against a good run defense?
Yeah, I think you got to have everything available against a really good defense, whether it's run, pass, or whatever. And Bo did some really good things last year. I mean, it was a tough loss. We were down by 7 and we got the ball down there on the 19-yard line and we completed one, and it was a tough overturn that I think could have made a difference in the game. But I thought Bo did a really good job of bringing us back. And, the fourth quarter, I felt like we really had a chance with his leadership. So he's got a year under his belt. I think that'll help him, with this game, playing them, one other time before.
Next is Mark Weiser.
Hey, Gus. Obviously, you guys had wins against Georgia in Auburn in 2017, 2013, but the program's had a hard time winning in Athens recently. Any thoughts about why that might be? And do you think reduced attendance might help a little bit in that regard?
I think, first of all, it's one of the toughest places to play in the league, okay? That's just the facts of the matter. You got to play good football to have a chance to win. And then if it's a close game, you got to find a way to make those plays to win. So, and like I said earlier, I mean, we'll see about the crowd, but we do expect it to be loud anyway. But, we'll know more after the game about, as far as if it's the same or not.
If I could just ask a follow-up, have you gotten used to the fact that in week 2 of the season you're playing Georgia?
This year is so unique. I mean, it is what it is, and it feels exactly okay as it would, in November. So we know how important it is. This game usually has a direct effect on the East and the West, and so it doesn't matter if we're playing today or November or March. Anytime you're playing them, I mean, it doesn't matter.
Got a follow-up from Mark Murphy.
Yeah, can you talk about how J.J. Pegues did in his first college game?
We thought he played well. He's a guy that's extremely talented, that has great potential, we feel like. So we'll see, what that means moving forward. But for the first time, and I'll say this, I thought all of our freshmen that we put out there did some good things. And there's nothing like a first game for freshmen, just okay, that's what it feels like. Okay, that's the speed that we got to do. Okay, so all those guys that played, we feel like are going to be really good players.
Thanks.
Next is Brian Matthews.
Coach, thank you for taking my question again. Just wanted to ask you about Tashawn Manning and Verdarius Ham, both signed in the 2006 class. Both underwent, cancer treatments, had to sit out a year, and now both were starting together on the field Saturday. What did that mean to you, and what did that mean to your football team to see that?
Well, it's a great story. Both those young men have overcome so much. And then the fact that, this is a year you see a lot of people opting out around the country. And both those guys hanging in there, and both of them played well Saturday. And, they're veteran guys. Both of them are veteran guys. They're tough guys. And they've overcome a lot.
Next is Jay Tate.
I guess some of Bo's really good throws come with him kind of drifting backward or throwing off his back foot in a way that I think he's not pressured that much Does it bother you that he does that? Is it just kind of a trend with him, or is it something you guys are going to try to coach out of him to kind of step into throws? Do you care about that?
Yeah, I mean, he'll. There were certain times that he had a little bit of pressure that he had to, but that was if you're talking about the one he pump faked off his back foot and he threw it about 40 yards across the field on a dime. Crap, I just told him good job. That was pretty good stuff. So, hey, I thought he played real well. You're always looking for things to improve on, but he keeps throwing dimes 40 yards down the field on the back foot. I'm going to give him 5. Okay.
All right.
Coach, we got 2 more. First is Jeff Spiegel.
Gus, you've coached in a few of these Auburn games now, and there have been some great games that you coached in. Tell me what's special about this rivalry to you.
Well, I mean, it's the oldest rivalry in the South, first of all. I mean, we recruit the state. I think a third of our teams from the state of Georgia. You look at it since I've been at Auburn, it's always been very, very important. And the winners usually went on to do real well. And so it's a big one.
Our last one today is from AP Stedham.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask you, what are your impressions of JT Daniels?
He's talented. I mean, that's probably the best way to put it. We just know he's talented.
Coach, we got one more from Jay Tate.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask one real quick, Gus. Red is having a great season at Miami as the offensive coordinator. I know he's your guy you know very well. Just talk about how I'm sure you had a feeling he was going to be this guy eventually. Yeah.
What he's done at Miami, what they were the last 2 years of offense, what he's done is unbelievable. Probably the best coaching job in the country up to this point. But it doesn't surprise me at all. He's a real smart guy. He's a great coach. He's a relationship guy. His players believe in him. So I'm real happy in it. That he's got a real offense going on right now. So it's exciting to watch.
All right, Coach. Thank you for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.